Alright guys, this is my 6th Wi-Fi battle. It's against a guy named Andy. I met him, or I found him on Elo's live stream last Friday. It was a pretty good match. Yeah, here it is. So I start off with Therathorn, and he starts off with his Minshao. I don't know what it's going to do, but I figure I'll just protect and see. He goes for the high jump kick. I thought at this point that it was scarfed because it didn't go for the fake out, but because of the protect, he gets the recoil damage because he misses. Here I find out that he's not scarfed, that in fact he is life orbed. I go to Gengar. Either way, no matter what it does, I can take the hit. But then he gets the switch advantage. He goes into his own Gengar. Here I stay in and hope to Shadow Ball it. He's faster, which means he's either modest and scarfed, or he's timid and spexed, or timid and scarfed. I'm not sure. I'm modest and spexed, so... anyway, he wins, and I bring in Heatran. He's forced to switch out. And here, I should have been thinking more, but I really wasn't. And I just go straight for the flamethrower. I'm scarfed. So here I have to switch out. I'm fearing the Scald, so I go to Jellicent. He actually goes for the Surf. Either way, it doesn't matter. I've got the Water Absorb and it negates the attack. Neither one of us want to stay in. I want to switch out because if he does stay in, I know Therathorn can take anything that Jellicent has to offer. But he also doesn't want to stay in, so he actually calls back his Jellicent and brings in his Fortress. I'm thinking along the same lines. We both brought in our Hazard guys. So he sets up the Stealth Rocks, and I figure if this is going to stay in and set up spikes and other hazards, the only way I'm going to be able to take it down, or at least get something out of all of his setting up, is to hit it with Leech Seed. But here he decides to switch out and he brings in his Volcarona while I get up my first layer of spikes. Here I know he's going to predict me to switch, so I stay in. And I decide, I don't know what this thing is going to do, but I decide to get it with a Leech Seed. I let this thing set up. I didn't have rocks to take care of it, so I'm nervous about it. I'm already down by 1. I know that the battle could still go anywhere by now, but here I decide to stay in and protect while he goes for the Fiery Dance. Just stalls him out a little bit, an extra turn for Leech Seed. But here I know I don't have any other choice, so I switch out and go into my Heatran. I predict that he will go for another Fire Dance, which he does. He goes for another Fire Dance with a Flash Fire. I double my Fire type moves. Now I expected him to want to keep his Volcarona alive, seeing as how there wasn't anything that I figured he could do to me. He goes for the Hidden Power, and I think it's probably Hidden Power Earth, but it's not. It does neutral damage, but he does get the crit. So that was unfortunate. I predicted him to go back into Jellicent, so I go for the Dark Pulse here. I should have just gone with the Flamethrower and taken it out, or come close to taking it out. Either way, I find that he's Life Orbed. And with Life Orb damage and Leech Seed, there isn't a whole lot he's going to do. I just stay in because I don't know what type that Hidden Power is, and I don't want to accidentally run into a super effective hit and lose someone else. So I just stay in and let the recoil hurt him. Here I bring in Jellicent, and no matter what he does, I'm going to be fine. He goes for the Bug Buzz. I don't know if that was a misclick or he thought that it was going to do neutral damage. Either way, he gets the special defense drop and Life Orb takes him out. And knowing that the life orb damage would take him out, I actually just go straight for the recover. I know that no matter what it does, unless that hidden power where it was like electric, that I would be able to recover back up to full health. So that's what I do. He brings in his Gengar. I figure it's going to Shadow Ball or Thunderbolt, so I switch out and go into my Therathorn. See what it decides to lock itself into. He does go for the Thunderbolt, which, you know, is fine by me. I don't know why he wouldn't go for the Stab Shadow Ball. It's super effective, but, you know, that was his decision. So I know he has to call it back, so he brings in his Minshao, and I set up another layer of spikes. Now, I wasn't sure if I could get him to go for the high jump kick yet again, but in case he decides to, I go for the Protect. He doesn't fall for it a second time, kind of unfortunately. And he goes for the taunt, but I had protected myself. So I figured he'd taunt again, so I decided to go for the Power Whip. He predicts that, and he goes straight for the high jump kick. So he takes out my Therathorn. Iron Barbs does bring him down to the yellow, but all he needs to do is call it back, and he'll be fine again. So here I bring in Jellicent. I know that his Minshao can't do anything to me, and I decide to go for the Will-O-Wisp, believing that it would U-turn. Anything that comes out, I wouldn't mind having Will-O-Wisp on just because of that extra damage. And if he does for some reason decide to stay in, the Will-O-Wisp will cripple and pretty much make that Minshao useless. He does bring in his Fortress, which is good for me because I did want the Will-O-Wisp on it to just sort of take out its HP. Unfortunately, I missed the Will-O-Wisp. He's still in the lead. I've lost three pokes. I've lost 3 Pokemon. He's only lost 1. I hit him with the Scald. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose at this point. I messaged on Elo's live stream saying I'm probably gonna get owned. But here he switches out, and I just continue with the Scald. I figure if Scald kills him, great. If it doesn't, there's a chance that it'll burn and that will kill him. He goes into Gengar. Right here, I was really hoping for the burn just because of that little bit of extra damage. I don't get the burn, and I know he's going to go Shadow Ball or Thunderbolt again, so I actually call back and bring in Scrafty, knowing that he can take anything that this Gengar is going to use except for a Focus Blast, but that would be risky for him to go with a Focus Blast because if I don't switch, then he is stuck and he's forced to switch. So Scrafty takes that very well. He knows that I can set up on him all day, so he's going to call back and bring in his own Jellicent, which gives me the opportunity to bulk up for free. So, I figure he brought in the Jellicent because the Jellicent's probably got Will-O-Wisp or Toxic. I was going to say Scald, but I know it's got the Surf, and I don't know why it would have 2 stab moves. So I figure he's got something up his sleeve, like a status, and I want to get rid of this thing as quickly as possible. This one's got Moxie instead of Shed Skin, so I can't just get rid of the Toxic or the Burn. I do take it out at a +1 super effective Crunch. That actually surprised me a little bit. I'm used to Jellicent's taking hits a lot better than that. I guess his was more offensive. He does bring in the Gengar here, and I know he's going to go for the Focus Blast. Lucky for me, he misses. And I feel that's fair. He got a crit, and I missed Will-O-Wisp. And it's got low accuracy. I mean, so does Will-O-Wisp, but it pretty much changed the game for me. I think I might have been able to take a Will-O-Wisp depending upon whether that was Scarfed or Specs. Here he brings in his Min Xiao. I'm not sure if I can take a high jump kick, but I decide to stay in and attempt it anyway. If he misses, then it's game over for Min Xiao. He just goes for the fake out and then the U-turn, which, I mean, no big deal. Scrafty can take those hits, no problem. And at +3, he's in a pretty good position. I decided to go for the Drain Punch because if I do survive, if I do take and survive the high jump kick, I'm going to want some more health. Works out for me because he goes into his Fortress, probably as fodder. And I take that out. And Scrafty's looking really good right now. He's doing some work. He's really turned this game around for me. And I'm waiting for his Salamence to come out. I didn't want to reveal my plan against his Salamence too early or accidentally over-predict it coming in. But I know I can take an Outrage. I've taken Outrages from Garchomps before. I'm not real worried. I see that he's got the Life Orb, which pretty much seals the deal for me because I'm carrying Ice Punch, as you saw there. And a 4x super effective +3 Ice Punch. Salamence isn't going to survive that. So after taking it out, my Moxie restores the attack lost from the Intimidate. And here comes in Min Xiao, which is his last Pokemon. I decide to stay in. I'm not really worried at this point. He decides to fake out. And the only other option that he has here is to go for high jump kick. And Scrafty did some work here, so I wanted to keep him alive, so I actually switch him out and go into my Jellicent while he goes for the high jump kick. And because I am a ghost type and it doesn't affect me, he misses, and high jump kick recoil takes him out. So yeah, that was a pretty good match. I was fearful I was going to lose. In the end, I come out victorious. It was a good match. It was a really good match. So yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys later.